Hey guys, so this video is just going to be a little bit more of a intro vid for the next vid I'm sending with this one. I'm going to talk for maybe 2 minutes or so, say a little Christmas stuff, and we'll just go. This will just introduce the other video, okay? And to warn you, I'm going to do Santa shit, so prepare yourself. Ho, ho, ho! Jet Nation, it's Greenbean here. Just wanting to say that I hope everybody had a very wonderful holiday season, whether it's Hanukkah, Christmas, Festivus, or whatever else you might be celebrating. I hope it's going well for you. I hope everybody's safe and having a very warm and friendly holiday season. So, what did Santa bring us this year? What was it? One of the little interesting facts that many of us probably have skirted over this season with the fact that we're not going to make the playoffs again is that we had really uncharacteristic for us. We had many of the teams that travel well come to our home at Metlife Stadium this season. And interestingly, we had 4 of the top 10 best traveling teams, teams whose fans tend to show up in droves at the away games. We had 4 of those teams come to MetLife and play the Jets. Now, those teams being the New England Patriots, the Dallas Cowboys, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Oakland Raiders, and interestingly enough, the New York Giants. They're in there as well. And even when it's a home game for the Jets, it still ends up looking like a Giants home game. I always hate when the Jets have a home game against the Giants because it's just a waste. But interestingly, we are if those 4 teams, well, let's add the Giants too. We are 4-1 with the teams that come to our stadium with the most fans. So we had a delightful little wrinkle to our losing season, which is to take those teams' fans' terrible towels, Darth Vader masks, and whatever else they bring into our stadium. We got to send them home with a big fat L. So that's a little something. It's a little sugar for our turd of a season. But I wanted to tell you, this week, this is actually not the video. I had the opportunity, as you know, I travel often. I was up in New Jersey, right next to our stadium. I visited the new theme park, Nickelodeon Universe, and I had the opportunity to not only ride some of their pretty stellar roller coasters over there. They're legit, if you were wondering. But I also got the opportunity to talk to one of New York City's bravest, a lieutenant in the Yonkers Fire Department, and he's a Giants fan. And I got to get a little Giants fan perspective on the Leonard Williams trade, and also a little bit, we spent a minute talking about the comparison between Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones, how a Giants fan sees it, how they, passing on Darnold and picking Jones the next year and all that jazz. So I hope you enjoy it. I wish everyone a very, very safe and happy New Year. If you're going to drink, get a designated driver. Call Uber. It makes it easy for us these days, not like when I was a kid. We had to get the car home somehow. Now you don't have to do that at all. So safe, happy New Year. Merry Christmas, everybody. Go to Jet Nation, and let's talk about it. Happy holidays. All right, so look, we're both in the shot. What's up, Jet Nation? This is Greenbean here. I am actually at the American Dream Mall riding roller coasters in Nickelodeon Universe. And I am sitting here with a good friend of mine, Lieutenant Joe Manari from the Yonkers Fire Department. So he's a really good guy. He runs in when we're all running out. But the thing is that he's a Giants fan. So, sorry. Yeah, people can't have it all. So the thing that we wanted to take a minute and discuss with Lieutenant Joe here is a couple of things that's been happening between the Jets and Giants. Out of nowhere this year, like a 30-year hiatus was broken between the two teams trading. So we traded the Giants, Leonard Williams, and we've been talking about it ad nauseum over and over. We know how we feel, but I wanted to take a minute and get the opinion of a Giants fan. So we got a 3rd and potentially a 4th rounder if you guys sign him. If Gettleman decides to cut him loose, we get a 3rd and a 5th. So what did you think about this trade? How are you seeing it from the Giants fan perspective?
I think a lot of Giants fans were wondering what the hell he's doing. Why would he do this? They could have bid on him at the end of the year, and he didn't have a great reputation coming to the Jets. He was, quasi let down. Came in big hype and didn't fulfill what they wanted, and it feels like they got over on Gettleman. But maybe he knows something we don't. He came in, he solidified the middle of the line a little bit for them. The run protection was a little better. The run defense is a little better now with him, but I don't know. I think they gave up a lot for a guy who they probably could have got at the end of the year just buying him if they wanted to.
For just money.
Yeah, and now he's on his contract year, so he's going to bust his ass. He's going to do everything right, and then who knows what happens next year. So, I don't know.
It's very interesting. That's it. We hear ourselves saying that all the time. Maybe the Jets know something we don't know. So it's nice to hear a Giants fan say that, because we know that the Jets don't know more than we know. We like to say that. Maybe the Jets know more than we know, and we find out the Jets knew significantly less than we know, so maybe that's what's happening for you guys.
Gettleman better know more than I know, I can tell you that much, because it doesn't make much sense from the outside. He's a nice player, but I think they could have filled that with a middle round draft pick. Who knows, but we'll see.
Right. One thing about Leonard Williams, great team guy, never gets injured. He's played almost every game of his entire career. What do they say? The best ability is availability. So Leonard Williams brings that. He brings consistency. He's just not quite, like you said, not quite what you'd hope with the 6th overall pick in the draft in 2015.
Nobody was more consistent than Eli. He never missed a snap.
Isn't that interesting? So that's a nice segue. So the other thing we wanted to talk about, there's a lot of comparisons between our two quarterbacks right now, and I think the main reason for that is that there's a large outcry of people who say that Gettleman passed on Sam Darnold. He passed on Sam Darnold to take Saquon Barkley, but then this year he was able to go with the number 6 pick and get Daniel Jones. So we know how most of the Jets fans feel. We feel blessed, fortunate that the Giants passed on Darnold. So how do you see it with the way he did it, grabbing Saquon Barkley first and then taking Jones? How do you see the whole thing? Did he pass on Darnold or what?
He did pass on Darnold. He wasn't his guy. They weren't high on him enough. They didn't feel high enough about him to take him in that pick. And they felt that Barkley was the best player in the draft, so they went after what they thought was the best player in the draft. I mean, they got the guy next year, so it's kind of tough to say whether or not it's too early in both their careers. I mean, he threw up 41 yesterday, and Darnold's been playing well as of late. So, I mean, you got to protect for him, and you got to give him a chance. It's a young quarterback. I think time will tell. They're both very talented. I'm happy with Jones. I think the Jet fans are very happy with Darnold, and you should be. He's a good quarterback. Protect for him, get a decent scheme, and maybe you guys got something really good there.
Right. But as far as Daniel Jones, like you said, he put up 41 yesterday. He's not looking like, everybody was so angry. He was booed in Yankee Stadium and all that. He's looking a little bit better than that, isn't he?
He's had flashes of brilliance.
He's a nice player.
So
Gettleman could actually come out of this, at least that end of it, looking pretty smart, grabbing Saquon Barkley and still getting a franchise quarterback the next year, because there was no Saquon Barkley in this past draft. He wasn't there.
I mean, he is a talented player, and yesterday he had a great day. He was unstoppable yesterday. So time will tell. The thing is, he had a good draft this year, Gettleman, actually. The Giants actually put some players up there that have helped. They've filled pockets. They've done a lot of things that they needed. So, I mean, he traded Odell Beckham, which to a lot of Giant fans was a blessing, and a lot of guys had heard. I liked Odell Beckham as a player, but he was a cancer in the locker room. And he was never, ever going to be the right fit here. And he got rid of him for what a lot of people thought were lesser players, but
got that number 1 pick, though, for him.
Yeah, they did. They did get a number 1 pick for him. So we'll see. They also packaged away Olivier Vernon, too. So I know you guys are Jet fans. You don't want to hear about the Giants.
A little bit. Just enough where it pertains to the Jets. So it's interesting. We talk a lot about Sam Darnold versus Jones. We hear some guys poking some ribs saying, hey, maybe we should have waited and draft Jones and so forth and so on. We know how it goes. But I wanted to take a minute and get a Giants fan's perspective on particularly the Leonard Williams trade. That's the most recent thing, and it may open the ability to do more trades together. We just don't work together. For two people that share this, the two teams that share the stadium like we do, we work together surprisingly low. So maybe this is the sign of things to come, being able to actually work with our our brethren, the Giants. That would be nice. I think that would be good. We're in two separate conferences. We should be able to help each other out. I'd like to see that.
There's always that, that rivalry. There's nothing you can do. I don't know how many trades they're going to be, especially if it turns out that you guys get a great pick out of that third and that fourth.
That's right.
Or fifth or whatever. And if he doesn't sign this guy, he needs to have his head examined.
He's got to sign.
I don't see how on any way that the Giants came out on the top of this one. I think the Jets got the better of the Giants in this trade.
And that would be good because we got a brand new GM and we're war torn with our GM. So this would be really good to actually be able to get the better end of a deal. It's not the norm for us.
Where does your coach fit in on all this?
The coach is. We're not going to talk. Hey, we're not going to talk about that today. We're talking about GM. We're talking about Leonard Williams.
My bad. I'm sorry.
That's right. That's a whole different video. We're trying to keep this under 8 minutes.
Oh, okay.
We only got 50 seconds left. I'll just say this. Don't like Gase. Don't trust them yet. Let me say that. So we're talking about it on Jet Nation, jetnation.com. Come on out. Join the conversation. Some of the best Jets fans and even a smattering of Giants fans are on there, and some other teams as well. You can catch me at Greenbean, the Jets fan, on Instagram. And reach out, comment, like, subscribe, and come and join the talk. Go Jets.